together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Yep, good morning and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to go here for this Wednesday, the 19th day of August for 2026. A lot to discuss here today. Going to be hearing some comments from Nebraska offensive line coach Jeep Wade as the Huskers get ready for the 2026 season. So that's on the program here today. Plus, the Nebraska women's soccer team getting ready for a big week. They've got a couple of ranked teams coming in to Lincoln to face the Huskers. Former Nebraska women's basketball player and assistant coach has been named the director of operations for the Nebraska flag football program. We'll talk about that coming up. Going to have a new voice in the broadcast booth for the upcoming football season. I'll tell you who that is. After winning the GPAC tournament last season, the Hastings College women's soccer team has been selected by the league's coaches to win the GPAC title again this year. We'll check out the preseason poll on the show here today. Braxton Barrientos receiving an honor from the Diamond League yesterday. New York Giants have signed free agent running back Najee Harris to a one-year deal. The Milwaukee Brewers, they went off last night and beat Seattle by the score of 22-0 in a record-breaking fashion. So we'll talk some Major League Baseball on the show as well. So all that and more is coming up for you as you wake up and get going here on this Wednesday morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic in the Western Studios. Good morning.
Good morning for a Wednesday on a Friday show. Or Friday on a Wednesday show.
We're taking off for a couple of days. This is kind of our last week before the chaos starts next week with the high school sports season and Hastings College sports season is getting underway. So you and I will not be here, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Mm-hmm. Thursday, Friday, and Monday we will be off. So this is our Friday show on this Wednesday. We'll be back again on Tuesday. Never fear, we're not going anywhere. We're just taking off our late season couple of days off, a little vacation. I'm heading to the desert Southwest.
Trying to learn from the bookies before Blazing 5.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get some tips from the guys out there before we come back for the Blazing 5. You're off to in the school. You're teaching this week,
chaos has already begun on my end.
Yeah.
The chaos began Monday.
So, anyway, got some rain, I understand, on the way. Could see some severe stuff later on today, so keep an eye out in the sky today for weather.
Oop, you muted yourself. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. A new voice in the Husker broadcast booth. Jimmy is still my right-hand man.
He is not going anywhere?
No, he's not going anywhere. They didn't call you. They didn't call Marcus. So
well, they might have called me, but I don't answer the phone. So
well,
they would have had to send me. They would have had to send me a text message.
They wouldn't have. So we're all intact here at Extreme Sports. But Jay Moore is going to be the new color analyst for the Nebraska Football Network. He's a former defensive end for the Huskers. He's been on a lot of the shows for the Husker Network, and now he's going to move into the broadcast booth alongside play-by-play man Kyle Crooks. He replaces Damon Benning, who recently joined Matt Rule's staff as Nebraska Director of Player Development and Brand Strategy. So Jay Moore, who's had his hand on the program for the past several years. He's just going to step up, and now he'll be the color analyst on your weekly game day broadcast for the Husker Football Network. They got to make a quick work of getting acquainted with each other.
Yeah, not too bad. Let's see. It's not the actor-comedian Jay Moore. to want to confuse anybody here on the morning show. Defensive end, I can't remember what era he played in. I want to think it was the Bo Pelini era, but I'm not 100% sure on that, and so don't quote me. It was either Bo or Mike Riley. But yeah, he's been doing Big Red Reaction for a while. So that slot opens up.
He'll be a good choice. I don't think when we discussed it, it's either last week or earlier this week, he was on the hit list. Jeremiah Searles was a guy who was on the list for us. I threw out Eric Crouch, not knowing anything what Eric is doing right now except selling playground equipment.
It makes sense to hire within the HSN ranks. So
Jay Moore is going to be the new voice for the Husker football play-by-play broadcast alongside Kyle Crooks. Another interesting thing happened yesterday. Former Nebraska women's basketball player and assistant coach Amy Stevens, her name is back in the news. She's been named the director of operations for the Nebraska flag football program. She played at Nebraska from 1985 to 89, was an assistant coach for the Huskers in 1990-91, and from 2014 to 2016. Of course, she was the head coach at Nebraska Kearney and their women's basketball team from 1994 to 2002. Nebraska is expected to field that flag football team in 2028. So now they have a director of operations, Amy Stevens, will fill that role at Nebraska. So Amy's back in the news. Major League Baseball from last night. The Milwaukee Brewers hitting the long ball has not been one of their strengths this season. In fact, they were last in the majors this season with 117 home runs going into last night's ball game with Seattle. Well, they hit 4 home runs last night that resulted in 11 runs as the Milwaukee Brewers beat Seattle by the score of 22-0.
Boom. Blowout city.
Yeah, their record for runs in a game was 22, so that ties the franchise record there for Milwaukee. They also scored 22 runs in a 1992 game against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Brewers also had a season-high 22 base hits in the ball game, so 22 runs and 22 hits last night, including 4 home runs. I think they had some 3-run homers. They had 3-run homers and a 2-run homer in there, so 4 home runs that directly resulted in 11 runs as the Brewers knocked up the Seattle Mariners in Major League Baseball last night by a score of 22-0. The only other 22-0 victory since 1901 were the Pittsburgh Pirates when they beat the Chicago Cubs on September 16th of 1975, and the Cleveland Indians when they beat the New York Yankees 22-0 on August 31st of 2004. So a big night last night for the Milwaukee Brewers. They beat Seattle by the score of 22-0.
Well, Seattle, they checked out early in that game, as you would when you get down by enough runs. There was position players pitching. There was mental miscues. They scored 20 runs in the ball game. They got 2 runs on a sacrifice fly because Julio Rodriguez threw the ball in the stands with 1 out, and so they were able to get multiple runs scored on that. Julio just not paying attention to the game situation. You had position players pitching. And I get it, you got to record all 27 outs, but, I mean, at some point, just toss up the white flag and call her a day. Cubs played good again last night. As a Cardinal fan, I can sit here and say this because we won the season series, so, but Chicago continues to flex offensively and continues to flex with Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. He had that miraculous night where he led off the ball game and then closed it with a walk-off homer against the Chi Sox, and now he turns around and leads off the game with another home run, so he's hotter than fish grease right now. And I'll say this, I said it on Facebook last night, and it rings true again. This is kind of where I felt like with the American League MVP race last year, where it really should have gone to Cal Raleigh, but they, gave it to the most popular player and most popular team with Aaron Judge. And, you got the same situation with the Dodgers and Shohei, right? And now you're going up against little old Pete Crow Armstrong, who's in his second year. If PCA does not win the NL MVP, the postseason awards will be irrelevant for the rest of time. Pete Crow Armstrong is the most exciting player I've seen since I put eyeballs on 17-year-old Bryce Harper in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform, at that time, Washington Nationals uniform, when they played Kansas City out in the outfield, and I said, well, that's the best damn outfielder I've ever seen. PCA is a close second, and if he does not win the NL MVP, there is something wrong with baseball. Something wrong with baseball anyways. I was watching that last night, and I'm watching all this good young talent that's in the game right now. Yeah, I was going through thinking about the amount of generational talent that we are getting to see on display. Bobby Witt Jr., Pete Crow Armstrong. You have Ella De La Cruz over in Cincinnati. You have Paul Skeens, Jacob Mizorowski from Milwaukee. You've got Tarek Skubal in Detroit, now L.A. There's so much great young talent, and yet we are destined for a strike, and we're not going to be able to watch it in its infancy and in its prime. That sucks. Baseball owners and players, they got to figure something out, because if we don't get to watch this cook, this much good generational talent, if we don't get to see it do its thing next year, that'll be a damn shame for the game.
Yeah, a strike is looming at the end of the season here, definitely by the end of the year. So we'll see where those talks go. You mentioned the Cubs. They won over the White Sox last night by a score of 4-3. Kansas City winners over the Athletics last night, 4-3. Your Cardinals, they beat the Reds 3-0. And the Dodgers over Colorado by the score of 7-6. So that's what's going on in Major League Baseball. NFL notes today.
Go for it.
The joint practice between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints yesterday got into a WWE-style brawl. Punches were thrown between the two teams. Helmets were tossed. And at one point, Saints tight end Brock Reichsteiner grabbed a Cowboys player and body slammed him down to the turf.
Let's go.
This was all during practice.
First of all, joint practices are never a good idea.
No. Two other fights evidently broke out between the Saints offense and the Cowboys defense. It ended up involving several players with groups pushing and shoving down the sidelines. So the Cowboys and the Saints got together for a little joint practice yesterday, and things did not turn out well. In fact, at one point, coaches were talking about just stopping practice and moving on, but they got things settled down, and they concluded the practice session yesterday. And, oh, by the way, the Saints and the Cowboys will play each other in the preseason finale on August the 28th. So you see this time in and time out. It happens about every year. There's a joint practice that the players have been beating on one another for a couple of weeks now. They have a chance to go against somebody else, and maybe they feel they're a little bit too aggressive during practice, and a fight breaks out, and it escalates from there. And it certainly happened yesterday between the Cowboys and the Saints. I watched a clip of it this morning, and it's all over social media. So if you're bored today and have nothing to do, you can search for that. It's all over the social media sites, a little skirmish between the Cowboys and the Saints at practice yesterday.
There you go.
The Giants have signed a free agent running back in Najee Harris to a one-year deal. Harris played just 3 games last season for the Los Angeles Chargers. And he suffered a torn Achilles tendon after 3 games. He rushed for only 61 yards, 15 carries prior to the injury. So Najee Harris, a free agent, he's been picked up by the New York Giants. He says he's looking forward to playing. He's ready to go. He's healthy. He says he's not quite in football shape yet, but he will be. And Najee Harris will be on the roster for the New York Giants.
Backup plan for Cam Skattebo. Cam Skattebo last year got hurt, but he was probably the best running back of the NFL for the first, 4 weeks of the season, and then the gruesome injury with the knee cut us short of what was going to be a spectacular Skattebo season for the New York Giants faithful. This is a backup plan. This is if Skattebo goes down, but he's not getting a work share. He's not getting carries. He is going to be Skattebo's bag handler until injuries may arise. He's old and fat, dude. He can't. He can't run.
You had Skattebo on your fantasy team last
I did. I was 4-0 last year right out of the gates, and then the injury happened, and we went.
You tumbling down.
We twirled down the toilet from there.
I remember that you were on the Skattebo bandwagon early.
Still am.
He might not be on your fantasy team this year.
Still am.
Somebody else is going to probably pick him up.
You think someone's going to draft Skattebo in the first round?
Ooh,
go ahead if you want to.
Are you going to?
Not in the first.
Maybe in the second. I'm just getting my draft strategy down in case I draft ahead of you.
Speaking of draft strategies,
yeah,
Pro Football Weekly, which is a fantasy draft chart that I follow, has published their top ranking charts, essentially. Top 100 running backs, top 100 receivers, top 40 quarterbacks, and top 40 tight ends. Top 40 quarterbacks. We had this discussion earlier.
Oh, God, here we go again.
And I'm just going to throw it out there because we had this discussion earlier, and you eviscerated me for saying that Pat Mahomes is not a fantasy top 10 quarterback. You were not only offended, you were insulted, and then you fired back and got defensive. You said he's not a top 10 quarterback. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a Bills fan, blah, 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 blah. Pro Football Weekly, the quote-unquote pundits, the experts, these guys are in Vegas, man. They do this stuff for a living. Where would you think they put Pat Mahomes at?
I'm sure he's not in the top 10 because you're bringing it up. No, I know your antics.
I'm just saying, where would you put Pat Mahomes at?
Because I know your antics. I'll say he's in the top 15.
He's not.
He's not in the top 15?
No.
In fantasy football?
In fantasy football, PPR rankings for quarterbacks, Pat Mahomes is not in the top 15.
Is he in the top 20?
He is. Sneaks in at 17. Pat Mahomes is the 17th ranked quarterback, again, according to Pro Football Weekly, on the draft board. Would you like to hazard a guess at who's number one?
No, I wouldn't. But you're going to tell me.
Josh Allen is the number one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you
football quarterback.
Probably the only reason you brought that up.
I just happened to take a gander at it, and I'm like, oh, I wonder where they have Pat Mahomes because when I get yelled at, it scars me a little bit. And I try not to bring up those hot button issues, but when the experts and the pundits say it and they back up me, I generally like to trumpet that.
Well, in fantasy football, if you're going to score points as a quarterback, Josh Allen can throw it. Josh Allen can run it.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a pretty good choice for the top spot. Mahomes is not really he's not going to be a big-time runner, I don't think, this year, coming off of the injury.
No,
I don't see Pat Mahomes out there running around this year like maybe he has in the past. So Josh Allen might be. Who's give me the top 5? You got that handy?
I do. Josh Allen, number 1. Lamar Jackson, another runner, number 2. They put Drake May at number 3, which I have issue with, but he does throw for a high percentage of passing and picks up yards. So Drake Mays at 3, Joe Burrow at 4. And I don't know if this was intentional or not, but Jaden Daniels is, in fact, number 5 on the list.
Good.
Yeah.
5 for 5.
5 for 5.
Protect that number 5.
He's got to. We can't remove him out of the number 5 slot, otherwise he'll sue us.
Yeah, God. All right, so, yeah, fantasy football leagues will be getting going here a couple of weeks. How many leagues are going to be in this year?
As of this very moment, I'm in 2 with the likelihood of us getting a third. Unfortunately, the commissioner had a little mini disaster before the season, and this was bound to happen. I think as you have leagues that exist for a long period of time, emails and phone numbers will eventually change. Your data on your ESPN profile should be updated, but some people don't update it. And then some people can't get the recovery for the 2-factor authorization to get into his profile. So we have to essentially create a new league, and so we're going to lose our league history because the commission couldn't get it. He even went as far, and I give him credit. He actually texted his old phone number to whoever had it and said, "Hey, could you please text me the 2-factor code that you got just a couple of minutes ago?" Which they responded with a LOL emoji, and then never responded again. So, jerks, you beat it yourself again.
Why does that do that?
I don't know. You must hit a button when you talk.
I had that happen because I changed my phone number a year or so ago.
Right.
And you don't realize how much stuff is tied to your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got to remember everything. And, I'm still running into problems with that. Like 18 months later, that everything was tied to my old phone number. And when they send that code to get in to specific sites, and then, oh, no, that's going over to my other phone. I hope somebody don't have my number.
And they're getting the codes to all your profiles.
Yeah, jeez. Anyway, well, I hope your commissioner.
So to answer your question, from last year with 5 leagues, I felt that was a little excessive. We're gonna bump it down back to 3, which is a little more comfortable. I had 5 teams last year. I couldn't keep track of anything.
No,
that's too much.
7:23, waking up with Mike and Tyson this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Again, if you'd like to chime in with us and talk with us at the breakfast table, you can. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, we're monitoring those comments as well. I was going to get Bob Jensen on from Huskerland Prep this week. Bob was going to be on yesterday, and at the last minute, he had to take his wife to work yesterday. So I rescheduled it for today, and then Bob says that he's got to play golf today. So I will get Bob on Tuesday of next week when we get back into the swing of things here on Huddle Up as we get ready for the high school football season. But, that was my debacle this week. I've been chasing Bob Jensen around, trying to get him on the show. We'll end up getting him on the show on Tuesday as we get ready for high school football next week. A couple other notes. The home of the Phoenix Suns getting a very visible upgrade as it prepares to host the 2027 NBA All-Star Game in February. The team said yesterday it is installing an LED display on the exterior of the Mortgage Matchup Center that will measure 226 feet wide by 41 feet tall, making it the only NBA or WNBA arena with a transparent display that large. The multi-million-dollar upgrade should be ready sometime in September. Phoenix is hosting the All-Star Game for the fourth time, and for the first time since 2009. The city did host the WNBA All-Star Game in 2024. But, boy, you're looking for a big screen TV. There you go, 226 feet wide by 41 foot tall. That's going to be on the outside of the Mortgage Matchup Center there in the Phoenix as they get ready for the NBA All-Star Game.
That's cool.
Yeah, you want a big screen TV, there you go.
Ryan Martin chiming in on our YouTube page, on his YouTube channel, Ryan M. Outdoors. He's coming in on the Mahomes comments from earlier, saying that they're only poking the Mahomes bear. It's because he was injured. That's why he's ranked 17th. He thinks it's because of the injury and coming back, and maybe they forgot about him. It's not like the GPAC rankings. It's not like where you finished last year is where you start this year. They take into consideration age and ability and general legs, which he doesn't have anymore.
I have had Mahomes on my roster.
I know.
For several years. Early in his career, he was a very good fantasy football pickup.
Sure.
He scored a lot of points. That's when we had the downfield game. And
when we had Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, we had Tyreek Hill, and we threw the ball downfield. Now we're more of a dink and dunk type team that we throw those 8, 10, 12-yard passes. Yeah, over time he's going to get some yards. But we got to get the ball in the end zone for us to score some fantasy points. And God, he's got to complete a lot of passes of 7, 8, 9 yards to get to 300 yards and get some valuable fantasy points. So I can see that Mahomes is down there at the number 20 spot or somewhere close in fantasy. That doesn't make him the 20 best quarterback in the league. And so you're just talking fantasy points here. He's not the 20th best quarterback in the league. Hell no. That's not what we're saying.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think your fantasy points are a pretty good indicator on where you are in the overall position rankings.
Then we got into this discussion.
But also, so does wins and losses. And right now, Pat Mahomes has more wins than he has losses. So that's where I rest my case, Your Honor. That's where I learned to, I get a few wins on you, and I stop digging. I'll be like, you know what, that's good. I think I got a good dig in there. Came out across the ring, threw a right, caught you off guard a little bit. You stumbled, you bumbled a little bit.
But I'm a jab back at you.
But you'll jab back. And I learned to back down after, throwing a good punch.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Don't we? Is it Christmas or New Year's that we play Buffalo?
Thanksgiving.
Not New Year's, but Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving Eve.
No, it's a night game.
Yeah, Thanksgiving Eve. It's the night game.
Before Thanksgiving?
Oh, no. I think
it's Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, that's
correct. Like Thanksgiving Eve.
It's a untraditional matchup, but it's going to get a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah, Thanksgiving night is when Buffalo
7:20.
All right.
I swear to God, if they put that on Prime, I'll be pissed.
It will be. No, let's see. Who has the Thanksgiving night game? I think it's NBC.
NBC.
Yeah.
And on Peacock.
NBC.
I just like saying Peacock. It's funny.
All right. 7:29, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news break on Extreme Sports.
Well, the move back to Hastings City Hall is scheduled to begin this Wednesday, starting with Development Services and then with the Administration Department. The Finance Department will be the last to move in. The City of Hastings is planning for a public open house to tentatively take place in early October. Meanwhile, Hastings residents will have a chance to learn more about the planned asbestos removal project at the former Hastings Middle School building. The city will be holding an open house on September 10th to provide information about the cleanup process and answer questions. The project is funded through a $475,000 EPA grant that was awarded to the city. Officials say removing asbestos from the building will clear the way for its eventual redevelopment and reuse. The former school at 714 West 5th Street has been identified as a brownfield site because of the asbestos-containing materials. It is now coming up on 7:31, and just a quick observation before sports. As much as I hate rankings, I was sure into those fantasy football rankings. Pot kettle black. Let's go 7:31 over to Mike Will with your sports. Good morning.
And the sports today brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa. Get back into the game with Bamboo Mind and Body Spa. The Nebraska women's soccer team will host two ranked teams this week. Huskers will battle 8th-ranked Notre Dame on Thursday beginning at 7:05 before playing 18th-ranked Alabama on Sunday at 12:05. Nebraska is 1-0-1 in the season after knocking off Louisville and tying South Dakota. Former Nebraska women's basketball player and assistant coach Amy Stevens has been named the Director of Operations for the Nebraska Flag Football Program. Stevens played at Nebraska from 1985 to 1989 and was an assistant coach for the Huskers in 1990-91, and from 2014 to 2016, she was the head coach of the Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team from 1994 to 2002. Nebraska is expected to field a flag football team in 2028. Former Husker Jay Moore has been named a new color analyst for the Nebraska Football Network. Moore will work alongside play-by-play voice Kyle Crooks. Moore replaces Damon Benning, who recently joined Matt Rule's staff as Nebraska's Director of Player Development and Brand Strategy. And after winning the GPAC tournament last season, the Hastings College women's soccer team has been selected by the league's coaches to win the GPAC title again this year. The Broncos finished 16-4-3 last year, 7-2-2 in conference play. Morningside was second in the preseason poll, followed by Concordia, Dordt, and Doane. Rounding out the poll were Mount Marty, Dakota Wesleyan, the College of St. Mary's, Northwestern, Briarcliff, Midland, and Waldorf. And Broxton Barrientos of the Grand Island Fighting Cranes has been named the most valuable player of the Diamond League this summer. Barrientos hit .382 this year with 3 home runs, 41 RBIs. He was 5 for 11 with 3 runs scored in that 3-game championship series against Sedalia. Sawyer Slade of Grand Island was named the hitter of the year. Jude Stewart of the Hastings Sodbusters was named to the All-League team as a pitcher. That's a check on your sports headlines this morning at 7:33 on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. Chance for isolated thunderstorms today, otherwise partly cloudy. High temperatures reach up to 81, northeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, lows dip down to about 63. Highs level off around 86 tomorrow. Upper 80s Friday with a chance for scattered storms. Cooler Saturday with highs in the mid-80s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley.
Right now, the winds are calm. We've got cloudy skies. It is 67 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Start your engines, Hastings. It's time for fast, loud Friday nights at Cam Raceway. Cam Raceway is located just east of Hastings on J Street. Catch the adrenaline-pumping action every Friday night through August. Watch stock non-wing micros, restricted micros, junior sprints, cage karts, and more tear up Nebraska's fastest 8-mile dirt track. Gates open at 7. Racing roars to life at 8. Only $10 to get in, and kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult. Cam Raceway, where speed meets dirt and Friday nights come alive. Don't miss it.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
Every football season, there's that one fan, the one who sees the upsets coming, the one who doesn't just cheer, they calculate, they survive. This year, that fan could be you. Introducing Extreme Sports Survivor, the ultimate test of football instinct. Pick one NFL team to win each week. No spreads, no gimmicks, just survive. But there's a twist. Once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. One wrong call, and it's over. Your name fades, your shot gone. But survive long enough, be the last one standing, and you'll win our grand prize. Not just the glory, not just the bragging rights, something more. Sign up today at x-streamsports.com/survivor. Do you trust your gut? Can you outlast them all? This is more than a game. This is Extreme Sports Survivor.
All right, you got until, September 9th to get signed up for a Survivor for 2026, a grand prize this year, $2,500 in cash. If you can get through the 20 weeks and you're the lone survivor, at the end of 20 weeks, we'll give you $2,500 in cash. That is 18 weeks for the regular season. Then we're going to put the Thanksgiving and Christmas games as an additional week. So you've got 20 weeks of picks that you got to get through for a Survivor this year. And if you are the lone survivor at the end of the 20 weeks, $2,500 into your pocket. Entry deadline again is September 9th. We're taking the first 250 entries. That is it. So get signed up today. Be part of Survivor for 2026. Had a good time with this last year, so we're bringing it back for another season. You can go to our website at x-streamsports.com. Click on the games there at the top of the page. Go to Survivor and fill out the registration to get signed up for Survivor this year. But $2,500 in cash if you're our lone survivor at the end of 20 weeks. Got a lot of people signed up yesterday. Make sure you get your registration in today while you're thinking about it.
Some who's who in the Survivor pool so far from the signups. See, Russ Kindig is locked in. He's ready to go for Survivor. You might know Lexi, who has pretty much dominated most of our challenges, starting with March Madness. Lexi Brooks is back in it. Coach Asher is even going to play Survivor with us over there.
Oh, yeah, he's a new entry.
Yep, he's in. We got Marcus Metcalf. Ty Schleicher is back. Now we just need Ty Moritz for the Ty and Ty show.
Oh, jeez, here we go again.
So, the gang's all here. We're just waiting on you guys.
All right, so get signed up. Again, go to our website at x-streamsports.com and go to the Games tab and follow all the instructions. Get signed up.
We got someone from California in here.
I saw that.
The Teraviscus?
Yeah, I saw that.
Jacob and Steven Teraviscus.
From California. Might be ringers.
What did we do?
Yeah, we put some cash on the line there, $2,500, and we're drawing people from California to get in our Survivor
people
contest.
from Georgia in our basketball pool last year. Yep.
Yeah, we reach out. We want to bring this up, and it kind of slipped my mind earlier because we've been done with Legion Baseball for a while now, but history was made last night. Lincoln East Carpetland won the American Legion World Series championship last night. They
dominated.
They beat a team from Portland, Oregon. It was 9-6, actually, the final score, with Lincoln winning over Portland 9-6. Cade Anderson had a 3-run home run in the bottom of the fourth inning to put Carpetland up for good. The American Legion World Series championship is the first for the Lincoln program and just the second title in the series, 99 years for the state of Nebraska. It's our second national champion in 99 years. Omaha Post number 1 won the 1939 American Legion World Series, and now Lincoln East Carpetland, they won it here in 2026. They finished the season at 55-7. Yeah, we had a chance to watch them play a couple of times this year. Obviously, they are very good. They won the national championship over Portland 9-6, the first American Legion World Series championship for the state of Nebraska since 1939, and only our second one ever. So congratulations to Lincoln East Carpetland.
Did you hear what ESPN was affectionately calling them in the broadcast?
No.
The Rugs.
Oh, God.
Because they were Lincoln East Carpetland, so ESPN they affectionately gave them the nickname The Rugs.
The Rugs. By the way, they're not going anywhere either because they're juniors team. God, we played them in the junior state tournament in Hastings. I did that game when they played the Braves.
Yeah,
they kicked our butt. God, they were good, even at the juniors level. So they're not going anywhere.
Reloading.
Yeah, got to reload. 7:43. Talk some Husker football. Jeep Wade is the offensive line coach for the Huskers. And Jeep Wade was before us yesterday. He talked about some of the guys down there in the trenches. Gunnar Gatula is one of the guys he talked about. He's a big 6'6", 320-pound junior out of Lincoln Southeast. He started 7 games last year for the Huskers before suffering a season-ending injury. But Gunnar Gatula, he is back in competing for a starting job there, the offensive line for Nebraska.
Gunner's had a great camp, had a great summer. Gunner to me is like one of those kids that I trust. Like, he is going to get it done because he loves Nebraska. You know, just tough, gritty, plays through the whistle. So, those kind of guys we'll win with. And it's just something as a coach, like, if it's 3rd and 1 and we run behind him, I know he's going to get his hat across, and I know he's going to strain and he's going to fight for his team. And those kind of guys we'll win with. It's a great camp. I love Gunnar Gatula.
Another guy he brought up is Elijah Pritchett. He's the guy we got in a transfer from Alabama, 6'6", 330 pounds, and a senior.
I honestly think Pritchett, to be complete transparency, I just think Pritchett needs to, needs to just start fast, play confident, and just, have some have something good happen to him. Does that make sense? And, I think Pritch is a guy that we've challenged him to, hey, man, just work hard, don't think about it, play violent. And, I don't know if you guys are out there, but when you watch him just warm up, it's something that, the lights clicked. I think I'm very proud. I'm very, very proud of Pritch, but I'm very proud of him just from the way he's working, and attacking it. Not saying it's all perfect, but, you can watch him stretch. I'm like, he's about to have a good day. Just the body language, and what he's about. So very proud of that.
And Jeep Wade says he has seen an improvement from his offensive line since the spring.
I think just the mentality, the discipline to fight through adversity. There's going to be adversity every day in something, whether, coach rules, changing the periods on them and changing around and making them, just off the cuff and stuff. And, and then there's going to be days where you feel good. Today I walked in, it's Bloody Tuesday. Hey, let's get that mentality start. We cannot waste a day, and if you don't feel good, you got to have the switch upstairs to come in the same day every day, because this is where we'll win and lose football games. So I think the mentality, I think they have some confidence, which I want them to have confidence, but I just think the work ethic and the mentality of, listen, if it's not perfect and I strain and I compete, then I had a chance for it to be okay. Then we can live, and then hey, play the next play. So that's kind of something that we've been working towards.
And Jeep says his philosophy to coaching the offensive line is pretty simple.
I don't want to paralyze them, I want to run off the ball and I want to play violent, be violent with our hands. And if you give them 17,000 things to think of, they're not going to do that. And I want to play, I want to be simple, and I think, you just get guys that love football and you can coach them off the film. Sometimes when you get an older group, you can fix it in the film room. You don't have all the time in the world to go fix it. So I just want them playing fast and not thinking. And if they do that, at the end of the day, then we'll have a chance to be successful, even if it's not perfect. Because, guys, offensive line's an imperfect position. It's never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be happy till the last day of bowl practice or college football play, whatever. It's just the way it is. Yeah,
we'll listen to comments from Husker offensive line coach Jeep Wade. He says one thing we got going for us is we got an experienced offensive line coming back for the 2026 season.
Experience matters at this level, at any level, it's valuable. And just the type of people they are, they care, it's, something about, we talk about ego strength, to have confidence in yourself, but have the humility to know that we got to get better, and that's something that these kids will take. You can coach them. You can coach them hard. You can get on them. And just because they are grown men, they are experienced, they've been through it. And I think that's valuable. Now we got to go do it here in a couple of weeks, so it's something we're looking forward to.
And what about one guy who has made a big jump since the spring?
Gibson Powell. Gibson Powell. I've had a great couple of days. When you don't talk about somebody in the film room, that's a good thing. So very, very excited about Gibby. Going to challenge him to take his game another level, because we're going to need some guys like that during the season. And so he's a guy that, been hurt for the past year, right? I think, and he's really, really taken to it, really listened when he wasn't doing anything during the spring and summer, to what we do up front, and kind of had a really, really, really good, solid camp.
We're still a couple of weeks away from opening the season on September 5th at home against Ohio. So Jeep Wade says he's not ready to name an offensive line yet as far as the starters are concerned.
I hadn't even thought about that, and that's not coach talk, because this week's still camp. Matt's challenged us as coaches that this week is fundamentals, tough, camp, grind them, let's go, because we don't have many more of these days left. So we can't waste that. The valuable time I get during Indy, okay, today we're really going to work this scheme, and tomorrow we're really going to just work this scheme for 20 minutes, not just do this, and this. So this time is really valuable for me to really hone in on the fundamentals that we got to get fixed so that we can take another step.
All right, there you go. Latest comments out of the Husker camp. Offensive line coach Jeep Wade. Lift those Roulade mugs up high in the air one more morning together. Let's take one more big old sip of Roulade.
That's not happening. I can't do it. I love me some Gunnar. I love me some Gunnar Gatula. Dude's a beast, right? Got coached by his dad out there at Lincoln Southeast. Comes over to the Huskers. Just been a dog. You know, he's won every freaking award that you could possibly win at the University of Nebraska. Brooke Behringer team. Been put on the All-Nebraska team academically and athletically. Just an outstanding young gentleman. I'll take a sip for him, but the rest of the offensive line still has to show me come game day. I'm gonna say this. Yesterday, I was kind of looking and had some time on my hands in between classes. I was checking out some other teams in fall camp and listening to what their coaches were saying. Oh boy, Michigan State is doing something right. That game scares me a hell of a lot more than it scared me at the very beginning. I think I kind of mentioned a couple weeks ago that game was a question mark game for me. That was one that I felt, a couple weeks ago that we probably should win, but we might struggle in. And now looking at how Fitzy has responded and the players that he's got and their mentality this year isn't rebounding and playing halfway respectable football and being mediocre in the Big Ten, which appears to be what Nebraska is locked in to do. They're hungry and they want to make a lot of noise this year. They scare the shit out of me.
Well, that could be a first test to make a lot of noise.
I think that's the test.
Yeah, September 26th we play them. We play them early.
Yeah.
So.
They're gonna be ready, and they're gonna be ready to make a statement. And what better way to make a statement, and what better way to make headlines than taking care of Nebraska? That's part of my 5-game.
I know. Yeah, I told you that Nebraska would go 5-0. That's part of my 5-game.
I'm going to tell you the wrench goes into your plans right there with Michigan State.
All right, so circle that, baby.
We have to win that game. We have to win that game if we're going to go bowling.
All right.
The Teraviscuses or Treviscus. Yeah. That name looked familiar, and it dawned on me, and then I saw Shaner's comment. Jacob Treviscus is a Hastings College pitcher / sodbuster this past summer, and I believe, if memory serves me correctly, Steven is his father. So they are.
They've entered our contest.
They have joined. They joined us midway through the summer when we started talking Sodbuster baseball, and that was a way that he could stay connected with how Jake was doing on the diamond. And they have continued to support and be a part of the Extreme family. So, welcome.
Yeah, now they're going to be part of our contest.
I had to go over to the bullpen before the game started. He was the starting pitcher. I was doing the lineups, and I was like, "Hey, Jake."
How do you pronounce your name?
How do you pronounce your last name? That's wild. He's like, yeah, I think it's Treviscus.
Well, that way, if he makes a run in our contest, we won't screw up his name.
We'll just call him Jake.
Yep, Jake.
Pitcher Jake.
Pitcher Jake from the Sodbusters. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's 7:54 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news break on Extreme Sports.
Well, after more than a year and a whole remodel that took place downtown, the move back to City Hall is scheduled to begin today, starting with Development Services, then with the Administration Department, and finally the Finance Department will be the last to move into their new home. The City of Hastings is planning for a public open house to tentatively take place in early October. Meanwhile, Hastings residents will have a chance to learn more about the planned asbestos removal project at the former Hastings Middle School building. The city will be holding an open house on September 10th to provide information about the cleanup process and answer questions. The project is being funded through a $475,000 EPA grant that was awarded to the city. Officials say removing the asbestos from the building will clear the way for the eventual redevelopment and reuse. The former school at 714 West 5th had been identified as a brownfield site because of the asbestos-containing materials. 5 minutes until 8 o'clock. Let's swing things over to Mike Will for Check on Sports.
Sports Today brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill, where wellness meets recovery. Braxton Barrientos, the Grand Island Fighting Cranes, has been named the most valuable player of the Diamond League this summer. Barrientos hit .382 this year with 3 home runs, 41 RBIs. He was 5 for 11 with 3 runs scored in that 3-game championship series against Sedalia. Sawyer Slade of Grand Island was named the hitter of the year. Jude Stewart of the Hastings Sodbusters was named to the All-League team as a pitcher. After winning the GPAC tournament last season, Hastings College women's soccer team has been selected by the league's coaches to win the GPAC title this year. The Broncos finished 16-4-3 last year, 7-2-2 in conference play. Morningside was second in the preseason poll, followed by Concordia, Dordt, and Doane. Rounding out the poll were Mount Marty, Dakota Wesleyan, College of St. Mary's, Northwestern, Briarcliff, Midland, and Waldorf. Former Husker Jay Moore has been named the new color analyst for the Nebraska Football Network. Moore will work alongside play-by-play voice Kyle Crooks. He replaces Damon Benning, who recently joined Matt Rule's staff as Nebraska's Director of Player Development and Brand Strategy. Former Nebraska women's basketball player and assistant coach Amy Stevens has been named the Director of Operations for the Nebraska Flag Football Program. Nebraska is expected to field a flag football team in 2028. And the Nebraska women's soccer team will host 2 ranked teams this week. Huskers will battle 8th-ranked Notre Dame on Thursday, beginning at 7:05, before playing 18th-ranked Alabama on Sunday at 12:05. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:57 on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by Weatherology.com. A mix of clouds and sun today with a slight chance for isolated thunderstorms. Daytime highs approaching 81. Northeasterly winds around 5 miles per hour. 63 tonight. Tomorrow, 86. Upper 80s Friday with a chance for scattered storms. Turning cooler Saturday with highs in the mid-80s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley.
Winds are calm this morning. We've got cloudy skies. Got some rain already in the area. It is cloudy 67 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Every football season, there's that one fan, the one who sees the upsets coming, the one who doesn't just cheer, they calculate, they survive. This year, that fan could be you. Introducing Extreme Sports Survivor, the ultimate test of football instinct. Pick one NFL team to win each week. No spreads, no gimmicks, just survive. But there's a twist. Once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. One wrong call, and it's over. Your name fades, your shot gone. But survive long enough, be the last one standing, and you'll win our grand prize. Not just the glory, not just the bragging rights, something more. Sign up today at x-streamsports.com/survivor. Do you trust your gut? Can you outlast them all? This is more than a game. This is Extreme Sports Survivor.
All right, get signed up for Survivor by September 9th. Go to our website at x-streamsports.com for details on that. Again, we will not be here. We're going to take a little break before the 2026-2027 sports season gets underway next week. I'm heading to the Desert Southwest tomorrow. So we will not be here Thursday, Friday, or Monday. We'll get back at things on Tuesday morning. Tyson will get firmly entrenched in his teaching duties the next couple of days. Got any tips for me?
For Vegas?
Yeah. It's not like you've had great success any time that you've been out there.
I don't know. Press, play, or press, pull.
Well, I think the last time you were there, you stumbled down one of the escalators.
No. That was a long time ago. That was my first trip to Vegas.
You fell down the escalator.
That was my first trip to Vegas. I didn't quite handle things very well.
I saw pictures of that. You were at the bottom of the escalator, and people were not even helping you up. They just stepped over you.
We're just getting stepped on over, which is par for the course in Vegas. No, the first trip in Vegas was they didn't have our hotel room, so they put us up into a suite, and I ran straight to the minibar, not being smart. I was just being a dumb country kid, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, open bar.
Look at this.
And I grabbed it, and I cracked a bottle of Johnny Walker Gold, and we paid for it.
Yeah, don't take things out of that unless you absolutely need to.
I didn't know better. I'm just a dumb country kid.
And then you fell down the escalator.
Oh, we drank all weekend long. There was no pace. There was no breaks.
So why am I asking you for advice? It doesn't sound like...
Because I did really well at the poker tables.
So play a little poker?
I mean, I don't think you have the patience for it.
No, I don't.
I know you.
I'm not a card type guy.
Yeah, you can't sit for 4 hours.
Sit there for 4 hours and play cards.
You got to find the more chili machine. Find more chili.
That machine is so old, though.
More chili.
I love that machine, and I've had success on that machine, but I bet it's not around anymore.
Probably not.
Chilies. All right, so I'll try to
be respectful to your neighbors in the slot machines. Don't crank the volume all the way up. Don't be that guy.
I am that guy.
I know you are.
I still do it on the machines around here. I
crank her all the way up.
Yeah, before I even start playing, I crank the volume up. All the way.
I don't want people to know when I win. I don't want the attention, so I crank mine down.
Yeah, I crank mine all the way up. In fact, I'll probably do it at the airport as soon as I get off of the plane.
Jesus Christ.
In about 26 hours or so.
And $40 down.
Yeah, I'll be down $40. Of course, if I get a sandwich, at the airport, I'll probably be down about $100.
Jesus, no shit.
So
we'll have fun in Vegas.
$40 in the machine, probably $60 at the concession stand.
This is not like an anniversary birthday deal. This is just last hoorah before the summer.
It's the last hoorah.
The last hoorah.
So I'll try to keep you up to date if I win on social media.
Keep me posted.
I'll keep you posted on my excursion.
Or if worse, all else fails, Western Union to get you a plane ride back home.
Could you maybe send me some money if I had to?
Could we do a Venmo? I'll Venmo you if you need plane tickets, but that's about it.
I do have Venmo.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need some money,
step it up into the future.
All right. All right, we'll take a couple of days off again. We'll be back on Tuesday. Have yourself a great couple of days here. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you again on Tuesday. Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.